If you struggle with slicing the ball or have a slower swing speed, then this 3-part driver series will be for you. I'm completely reworking how I swing the driver. I know that in the short term, my driver will suffer, but in the long run, I know that I will have a more efficient swing. I will have more control and I will be able to generate faster club head speeds. To get a serviceable driver swing, it took me 3 hours of instruction, and so this driver series will be broken down into 3 parts. The first 2 parts are from a 2-hour lesson that I took, which I have broken into half. And in these initial parts, we talk about the fundamentals of what I actually need to change. And Tim also demonstrates how to get the results that I want. Similar to the iron rebuild that I am going through, the driver swing needs to start off with center face contact. And actually at the beginning of this lesson, we do recap some of my irons just to make sure everything is in check. And fortunately it is, so we're able to progress right away to the driver. And so besides the center face contact, another major thing that I need to work on is releasing the driver. So I'm currently just holding it off, and that's what causes the slice. I need to have more faith in my swing, being able to release it. And also by releasing the club, you're able to generate more efficient club head speed and more effortlessly too. You're not using your whole body to jerk the club head through. It's more effortless, it's more flowing, you're gonna get better tempo. It's just gonna result into a better driver swing. And guys, if you're new here, my name is Chonger. I'm an average golfer with the goal of trying to get to scratch. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Follow along on this journey with me as I document my weekly lessons, talk about different gear and gadgets that help me improve, and more. So if that sounds of interest to you, then yeah, follow me on this journey. And with that being said, let's dive into this lesson.
How's this working with a little bit more of a direct kind of holding your posture setup, contact better?
Yeah, contact's a lot better, I would say, a lot more compact.
Yeah, good. Distance is still there?
Yeah, I'd say so, more or less.
Yeah, nice.
Like I would say it's a lot more repeatable.
Yeah, that's kind of where I wanted to steer that for you, is just so it's like, hey, you don't have to be great, you just have to hit the golf ball solid. If you can hit it solid from kind of an organized move, then maybe you can push it a little bit, but we just want all the stuff that comes out of here to kind of get in the right direction.
I think it's the one thing though, when I get to like the longer irons,
yes,
when it can kind of move a bit more left to right, and then it's like, then I have to trust that I can hit the inside of the ball and take it a bit more right, because normally I'm used to seeing the fade.
Right.
So it's hard for me to almost trust that.
Yeah, well, you can tip that path. We'll see it when we get to the longer ones.
Yeah.
You can tip that path a little bit more vertical, kind of swing up and under a lot more, and that'll give you the height, and height is also that spin that keeps it from kind of turning left and right so much. So I always say to someone, if you want to take curve off your golf ball, it should go higher. Okay. It's hard to hit a golf ball low and straight. Low is low spin typically, or lower spin.
Yeah.
And lower spin is hard to keep straight. So if we hit this thing a mile in the air, like if you hit it as high as you possibly could hit it, I bet you it doesn't curve very much. I bet you it just sort of holds its flight. It's got tons of spin. So I'm always of the belief, like when I get a long iron in my hand, unless I'm forced to keep it and flight it low, I want it up there, because I know it's going to go straighter if it goes higher. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Like it's like my carry numbers are very similar to before when I was trying to like swing harder, but I'm doing a lot less.
A lot less. Yeah, this is easier. We like easier.
Yeah. So maybe I just go up to like a 7 then or something, just to.
Yep. Okay, good strike.
Just pushed it off.
Mm-hmm. So this is aiming at the TrackMan post.
Yeah.
Your numbers along the bottom are your path and face delivery numbers on the last one. So swing direction and club path were going to the left, a little across the golf ball. And then the face was open. So if you see that picture just above there, that's kind of telling you, that's a snapshot of how that club kind of traveled through the golf ball. So pulled it a little, would have pulled it a little bit left, but the face was more open. So that ball just kind of got shoved on you a little bit. That's pretty good. Off the center. Uh-huh. Nice. Yeah, looks good. Looks tidy. Not a lot of extra in there. Not a lot of lifting, shifting, kind of dropping the club right back on the ball. Yeah, great. That's good.
It's just my spin's a little low, right?
Yeah, so the ball's starting left.
Yeah.
Face is a little close to the path, or kind of like lined up the same. So the ball's just starting left and low because of the kind of the way the face is being delivered, a little bit more on top of the golf ball. Also, the spin rate is low because we're on the mats.
Okay.
So the ball's gonna spin less off of the mat because there's a skid element. Friction isn't exactly the same. So it's hard to get the ball to spin more than we need off of the turf.
And the low end is because I'm kind of more it's kind of the style.
It's just staying outside. It's just staying outside. Like if you aimed your shoulders, just your shoulders and your forearms more to the right,
Yep.
put the ball slightly back in the stance, just a little bit, and then swing where your shoulders are pointing. That should take care of like path and swing direction. So point those shoulders way to the right. Good. Try to do it with just your shoulders, not your hips as much. All right. So just this. So if I'm standing here like this,
Yep.
I want to just go like this. Turn my shoulders to the right. Yeah, good. Now swing where your shoulders are pointing. Okay. Now I bet the face was pointed in that direction. Your swing direction and path then go 3 degrees from the inside to 6 degrees out, so into out, and the face was open 4 degrees. So you swung into out and down on the golf ball. The only thing that wasn't there for your draw was the face. It was left open. But your shoulders are your steering wheel for your path. If my shoulders are set up like this, it's gonna be really hard unless I change something in the downswing to go there. But if I can kind of point those shoulders early in a position that I kind of want, that becomes kind of my swing path and direction, regardless of, to some effect, regardless of where my feet are. My shoulders are gonna kind of supersede everything. So this gives us a good idea of how to like swing to the right, align that face a little bit more to the left, and then just bang it on the back of the golf ball. Yeah, there you go. There's your push draw, right on line, right off the center. Path to the right, 2 degrees. Face 1.5 open, but releasing a draw. Looks like spin axis was 4 to the right. We saw that thing draw. So pretty good, really good connection there. That's nice. You could hit it higher. Your land angle is at 40 degrees. If we were fitting you for equipment, we're trying to get that to between 45 and 55 degrees, realistically.
Yeah.
So we need like 6 more degrees of land angle to control the distance a little bit better. That means probably about 15 feet of height, like 80 feet.
But that just come with swing speed? Or?
Speed would help for sure. Yeah. We are, what dynamic launch here? Launch angle's 14 degrees. Optimal might be 16 or 17. So just probably launching low and then, yeah, maybe not climbing as much with spin out of here. Let me just see what optimizer says. It says spin loft is, yeah. So you're spinning, you're starting the ball, what looks like about 4 degrees lower right off the bat than it kind of is asking for. Your ball speed is upper echelon. That makes sense because you're de-lofting the club a little bit for a 7-iron.
Yep.
It's actually telling you optimally you should have carried that 152 and you made it go 160. Your launch angle is low.
Yep.
I said 16. It's actually closer to like 18 or 20. Spin rate's low, height is low. So it wants you to kind of hit 80 feet, somewhere around close to 6,000 RPM, launching it, starting it out of here just a little bit higher. And that's gonna get us optimal. Not more distance, more like, okay, if I go, what do I have? 7-iron doesn't allow me to do carry on this, max carry. 35 degrees, is that what it landed at? 39, okay. So yeah, we can, your ball position's already up in your stance. It's just too much loft off of the club. So I don't know, rather than me giving you the recipe for it, what if I said, okay, do all the same things, but hit that 20 feet higher? Could you do it?
I could try.
Sure.
I was have actually a good question.
Yeah.
Because before, when I was really pulling the ball left, we kind of talked a bit more about setup and having the face a little bit open more, and then
Yeah.
but still, because I think at address it was actually closed.
Correct.
Do I still with this newer swing? Do I still kind of set up like that, or is it a bit more neutral now, or how does that?
Yes. So I always set the club kind of how it was designed first, and then I get into my setup. So I'll always kind of keep the club really square or like 90 degrees kind of thing. So I haven't put any shaft lean on it. I haven't de-lofted this club. I haven't opened or closed it. So when I address a golf ball, I'm going to address it without my body in there first. I'm going to point the club where I want it to go, as kind of like in a neutral setting. So I'll do this. I'm left-handed, so I always do it with my left hand, but a lot of players will do it with their right. I do it with one hand typically. So I'll do it with my left hand and kind of like sometimes even just peer over to make sure I'm aimed correctly with the face. And then I'll start to build my setup and where I want that ball position. And then from there, if I put my hands into position and I just lean them forward, that little reaction of like slightly opening the face is going to be natural. It's not like I have to set up, open the face, and then hit a golf ball. It's really because I pushed my hands a little forward that I should see this thing kind of fan open just a little bit.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
do want to still slightly.
Slightly,
Okay.
right? Especially if you're drawing the golf ball.
Yeah.
We want your face a little right? We don't want it.
So that way I can actually shut it.
Well, and that way we can actually start it to the right.
Okay.
Remember, like the face has the most impact on your start line and shape. So if your face is pointing left of that TrackMan out there, but you're swinging way out to the right, your ball's going to start at TrackMan and then go left. So if we want to fade, we'd have that face pointing left of TrackMan. If we want to draw, we'd have that face pointing right of TrackMan. Our body just might be a little bit more on either side to sort of help us get the shape.
Okay.
So yeah, start from kind of a neutral setup and then you can kind of get into that. That's good.
To hit it
And then your shoulders will help you with direction. It's a good swing. It's a great swing. And that's easily 80 feet in the air. It was hit so good. 83 miles an hour, 87 feet in the air. That's optimal. That's a great shot.
I felt more to try to
Yeah.
extend or like get more expansion.
Yeah. I mean, look at how close you were. So I'm giving you mid trajectory. If we were on high trajectory, you're a little low of what high trajectory would be, but you're not a high trajectory guy. If it was low trajectory, you didn't hit down on it enough to hit it low. So you're kind of like, this is your trajectory matchup here, and you're really close to it. Like really close, like really good mid-flight, right? So that 87 feet is like a mid-flight shot for a 7-iron for your speed. Spin loft came up to match. Like you're really close. It's very close there. It's a good golf shot for sure. For sure. Okay. Do you want to climb up to more club, or you want to keep hitting 7-iron? You want to go right to driver?
We can go right to driver. Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah. And this is standard tee height for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want you just to hit like 4 drives. I'm not going to say anything. I just want to watch you hit 4 drives.
Sure.
I know where you're trying to go, kind of straight out of here. I just want to watch you do it.
That was just a feeler. I wasn't sure what I was
Yeah,
going
that's
to get.
okay.
That miss. Well, I'll say after I hit the
Yeah.
5 shots. But
Yeah. Yeah, one more. Okay, 4 drives. Back to the first one. Okay, that spot right there. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so low spin, but also like really high off the face. Almost no spin. I don't think it got it. It was like that diving hook. Again, super low spin, kind of going left. Didn't get all the data. And the third one, I don't know why it's not getting it. Maybe it's because you're going a little left. Let's see here. Should be. It's all just impact position. So what I would say is, I think you have the ball teed up way too high to be good at hitting it off the tee. You ever play T-ball? You know, T-ball, where the ball sits on a tee? Nobody ever hits the ball. Like, everyone just mashes. It's like, it's just a weird angle to deliver it at. So when your ball is elevated so high off the ground, sometimes you swing it like 8 up at it and you hit the ground early. Sometimes you swing it like 2 or 3. So I want to take out the high end variable, like the 8 up at it. So I want you to tee this thing like a 3 would. Like, I want you to put it really close to the ground, the ball. Like way lower.
Lower?
Yeah, way lower. Like all the rings disappear. Pretty much push it down until it can't go down any further. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. I want you to hit a bunch of drives off of that tee height right there. Right? Just ball off a tee. Just try to hit it in the middle of the face here. Okay, I know it's not your favorite shape there, but from the bottom of the face, we're gonna get spin.
Yep.
Lots of it. Now, spin isn't a great friend to distance, but spin really has a great outcome on direction. Guys on the PGA Tour are not trying to spin it as little as possible to make it go far. Guys on tour are trying to spin it as high as they can and still get distance out of it because they know that's gonna stay a little straighter. For you, this is gonna come from flattening out your path. So there your attack angle went to 2 degrees, not 9 on one and 4 on the other. You don't have the option of going 9 degrees up at this anymore.
No.
The ball's basically on the ground for what you were teeing it up before. But let's hit a couple shots out of here. Let's get those shoulders pointing out to the right a little bit more. Good, yeah, nice. And swing there. Okay. Again, I think that's pretty good contact.
Yeah.
Like really good contact. But your face is just really wildly open. Your numbers, delivering wise, are not so bad, but the face is just kind of getting stuck open. So it seems like you're really kind of hitting at the ball and we haven't let the club head go yet.
I think that's the thing of like, so the very first swing that I did, as far as the smoothness of my swing, it felt good.
Yeah.
I feel like if I ever tried to release it or something like that, I think that's when like timing gets all messed up. And I feel like it's where I can get like jammed or like, it doesn't feel as smooth, it feels more jerky.
Sure.
But then when I swing more smooth, I always get that like, I think because obviously I'm holding it up, I'm not necessarily.
Okay, well let's do both here. But let's have a different ambition about what we want to do with the follow through. It's not just like after the ball, I got to be great.
Yep.
Step back, make a practice swing and try to get your club to finish around your body, your club head. Try to wrap yourself around in your follow through, right? Yeah, get there at the end of your drive. So try to do this a couple of times at full speed, but get there at the end of your drive and keep your balance as best you can. So if you're falling in off of your right foot, it means that you've really overspun. We're spinning a little bit too much torque. So I want you to be able to go as fast as you can and keep your balance. Good. Yeah, let's do it one more time. That was great. Do it again. Fast as you can, keep your balance. Full finish. Great. Let's hit the golf ball the same way. So I want you to go in balance, full speed, through the golf ball, full finish. Okay. God, that was hit really nice too. Okay, so to me, this is your tee height because you hit 3 shots. Now I know they're like right, but also this is part of it is like the tee's on the ground, so it's lower. But there's the last, what, 4 hits? 3 hits. So low of center, we know that one. Then center, then center. So we've got you hitting the center of the club face. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
but we're doing this with a face that is 7 degrees open to our path and 2 degrees open to our path, and still has a big slice attached to it. The last one you hit was nice, but it just had that extra sort of drift to it because that face was a little bit more open and behind it. Let's just see that tracer. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Let's hit a draw, Graham.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's hit a draw the same way that you're hitting draws with a 7-iron. Let's aim for a draw, but let's get to that finish position through the golf ball. Yeah. Okay. So you swung 5 up at that one. You definitely swung to the right. Face was closed. Everything was good about that except the ball hit low on the face. So it didn't really get any climb. Now, that part of that is the tee height, for sure. But can we still hit a draw and catch it in the middle of the face without having that ball jacked up so high?
I think since the ball's so low, I'm almost associating the feeling of swinging down a bit more.
Yeah.
Which I think is also counterintuitive if I want to draw one. I feel like I have to go
To the right.
to the right. So
Yeah.
I'm almost just, I guess, trying to get that feeling, but also
Yeah.
staying down, I guess.
So that changes your low point when we change the path.
Yeah.
So realistically, that ball position could move to help you find where the golf ball should be. So yeah, when we aim right, it probably also looks like and feels like it's more back in our stance.
Yeah.
That way you can get to the golf ball a little bit easier in that direction. If I'm aiming left, it would look like it and feel like it's a lot more forward.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. Shoulders are good. Yeah, and then full finish. Let's get through it. Oh, that's close. Very close. Again, really good hit. 103 club head speed, 155 ball speed, 290 total. You're getting pretty close to like, that's just a push, really. That face is 2 degrees open to a path that's going maybe a little bit more to the right. It's got spin on it. It's got height on it. It's really good ball speed. Everything is great there.
You know, I used to tee up my so high because since I knew that I had such
Yeah.
sharp angle
Yeah.
upwards.
Yeah.
That I guess also it probably just makes it worse, right? Because I'm almost in my head forcing myself to.
But it's also give a guy an inch, he's gonna take a mile. Like if I put a tee up there,
Yeah.
like it's that high off of the ground, you could be 15 up at it or you could be 0. When I put the tee down here like this, that like 9 degree is gone. And that's not like, for you, that's not gonna be a consistent way to hit driver off the center, is having it like on such an upward climb through the golf ball. You have loft on this thing. If you met this with just its normal loft and you hit this kind of where it is off the ground, it's gonna be kind of normal height distance. Mm-hmm. But to be a great driver of the golf ball, I think there's only really one thing. It's a lot like everything else. It's like, if you can hit the center of the face,
Yeah.
that's predictable speed, that's predictable spin, that's probably predictable start line, maybe even shape. It's way more predictable there than it is anywhere else. It's helpful that drivers are so forgiving,
Yeah.
but it's also harmful in the fact that you can kind of like take it easy and be like, I don't care, like I can hit anywhere in the face and it's gonna go straight. Well, no, you have control over straight from that center spot there. Good, so stay behind it and let that face finish in your follow through. That's okay. Pretty close to your start line. Actually kind of going a bit to the right. More about that low face. So there you are swinging 6 degrees up at it and your low point being 8 inches behind the ball. And that means that you just can't get that center strike because it's just a little bit too much. So since we dropped the tee height, you've hit every shot better, no snap hooks. Mm-hmm. So if we can eliminate a snap hook from your game, that's like bad miss. Like it's really close to something that goes super far that you think you have control over, but it's a bad miss. When you hit a low spinning, high on the face hook,
Yep.
it just is not much you can do with it unless you get a huge fairway. Okay. So a little bit of the finish here. Can I borrow that driver just for a sec? I'm not going to need to hit one, but I'll just do this. So a little bit of the finish of how we want the club to release. If I do want this to close, I can't continually get ahead of it with torque. So I can't do this in my follow through. Otherwise I'll never be able to close this face.
Yeah.
So when you go from here and you hit your shot, and when you end and your feet have spun this way into the follow through, then you never really have allowed that club face to like pass you and close.
Yep.
So if I'm hitting this drive off this lower tee, I kind of want to feel like this foot stays in the ground and works into the heel. And then once that thing gets out there, then I can kind of follow with my body afterwards. There's a little bit of a chase that happens with the driver rather than a leading of kind of like your irons. Like we built you something that was a little bit more direct and under control for like your iron play to be able to keep the club and kind of like hit the ball from behind you. I think the best drivers in the world are starting to let this thing go a little bit sooner in terms of like releasing on their line. And definitely as they get through, you would notice like, hey, their heads are here, their bodies are still here, but the club has passed them over there. So what I see is a lot of swings that you make where we've still got the club kind of like being led to that moment. And that's just that push that's out there. So we have to let it finish, for lack of a better term. And that's gonna come from stopping down here. So if this foot goes like this, instead of like this, then the rest of my body is not continually spinning as I go through.
Okay.
So let's see if you can stop the lower body and let that club head kind of kick through in the follow through. Right. Right. It's like you're throwing it away from you and your feet are glued in the ground. Yep. Right.
It's a different feeling. It feels like I'm like just spinning around myself almost. Is that the right kind of feeling? Or?
Yeah. So you're going to let your hands go, which is even better. So I'm not really looking for my hip and my body to continually spin because that makes it kind of go down and across and maybe leave the face open. What I'm looking for is just push up and then release my hands. Right, so let that club head climb onto my back really quickly. I'll borrow this just for a sec. If I'm swinging really fast, the club's gonna get on me really quickly. It's gonna get on and around my shoulder really quickly at the end of this thing. So it doesn't take a long time for me to finish my follow through. It happens pretty quickly where it can get onto my shoulder. So that club is wrapping around me really quick at the end of this thing. That's just the linear sort of release that we're after. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep. Right. Yeah, good.
So I'm really feeling like I'm turning my wrist over.
There's a little bit of a throw kind of feeling, right? I'm gonna just take your spot for a second. So it's the difference between when I use the wall like here. It's the difference between when I'm hitting an iron shot, I'm kind of running my grip into the wall and then releasing the club onto the golf ball. And then when I'm hitting a driver, it feels like I'm throwing the head around the outside of the wall. Okay. So if the wall was there, it would feel like I'm releasing the club head around the wall to get there versus my iron play and my compression and hitting down on something has me leading that like grip into the wall and then the hit is down there. So with the driver, now that you're in this position, we just want to feel like, okay, I can really kind of let this thing finish to get the draw shape that we want. You've got in a nice position where you're hitting the ball solid. We just want to let the face release and see if you can kind of control that draw or if we should just aim you left and play little fades.
Yeah.
Both are really nice options. We just want to find the comfortable one. And when you go play your next round of golf, you're intentionally maybe trying to just play one-dimensional tee shots, right? Like just try to get it to go. And that might be another way that you sort of figure out what's next in the bag for you is, hey, if you're like, man, I only hit a fade with my driver, but I can control it and it goes far enough, great. Then maybe you need a 3-wood that hooks.
Yeah, that
something.
was the thing of like, I think before when we were working on swing stuff, we were
Yeah.
focusing more on like a fade kind of bias swing with the
Sure.
irons and with
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
So I found like with the driver, I could also hit a fade as well too, and that's when I found that my driver was the most consistent. But now we're in an in between
Yeah.
where it's like, with my irons now, I'm kind of drawing. I could maybe try similar mechanics with this driver. Which kind of shape do I want? I don't know.
Yeah. So the obvious one is that every time you've hit the golf ball now, since we've lowered the tee, the face is more open than closed. It has been. So whether you start that at the beginning or whether you're dynamically doing that through the hit, let's hit one that turns to the left or overhooks, snap hooks. Let's just see something different than the ball that starts right and then keeps going right.
Okay.
So shoulders will help you with the path. There's nothing wrong with the direction you're swinging. You just need that face to be more closed when it gets to the golf ball. There we go. I mean, that's definitely a snap hook. Now you started your swing to the left, but you notice that your club path went negative. Right, so swing direction is 5.6, that's from the inside. So you're on a path to send that club up and to the right. But what happened was you actually pulled that club left through the golf ball. So by the time you get to the golf ball, you were kind of going like this to go through. And what we want to do is just regulate the face. I still want to swing path out to the right. You definitely close the face, but you close the face and swung left.
Okay.
That's the pull and a hook. So we just need some way to get the face to be a little bit more closed. That might be a dress, right? Just shutting it down. Good. And then trusting to just hit that thing right off that kind of low tee out to the right. I'm gonna say lots of attack angle, right? Yeah, too much to even tell. Okay, let's go. Can you aim straight at TrackMan, at the black pole? And I want us to get back to just hitting it like really solid in the center of the face.
Okay.
Right, so lowish tee for you. Just trying to hit it super solid and let it go. Okay, we have a gear effect miss here. So low on the toe, there's your hook that comes over, 2,000 RPM of spin probably, 1,600, even lower. Worked out totally fine on a miss hit.
Yeah.
But that's why you have a nice forgiving driver. Would we have weights and head set up there? Is it inspired for this? I can't remember what we settled on.
I think it's kind of a bit more neutral.
So neutral here. C1 is a little bit more open and less loft. That's one thing. So why don't we bring you back to A1?
Okay.
To kind of our standard head position. It's my wrenches. Because C1 is lower loft and open face, which, let's be honest, that kind of looks like the shot that's coming out of here. So why don't we just put you back to A1. Where it's not as flat. It's a little bit more standard. And then we've also got that internal weight port that we could move if we wanted a little bit more draw. Your belt's twisted.
Yeah, I think I put it on the wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is neutral back to...
This is A1, standard loft, standard weight port.
Okay.
Sure fit. So just right off the middle of that face, nice kind of flat golf swing. Interesting. Okay, a little low on the toe. So a little bit of that draw came from that. Path was pretty good, attack angle was good. Smash was really good. Carry was good. Nice, okay. Okay. 2 for 2, a little bit straighter, for sure.
That was a bit off balance though, but...
Yeah, for sure. Lost your balance. Okay. So I like the start line a lot better. You've missed these 3 drives a little low on the face, but we're still getting the golf ball kind of like on line. The shape is correct, but you haven't like hit one in the center yet.
No.
But 3 balls that would kind of be in the fairway. Good. So get a little bit of tee with this one.
What do you mean tee?
So try to take the top of the tee head off. Like try to level it off a little bit so you're not going up through the golf ball.
Okay.
You try to catch this thing right in the absolute middle. Again, just a touch low on the face. So your instincts would be like, well, let's just raise that tee up and I'll get it. My instincts are the opposite.
Yeah. Go down even lower?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you put that driver behind the golf ball, right now, if you just swept the ground, you'd hit it in the middle of the face. Mm-hmm. Right, that's right in the middle. So you got to kind of stay a little bit more level on this one to get that like center strike. I want you to try to hit it in the center here. Let's see what happens. Okay, just a little low. 3-6 though, I like that. Attack angle. Okay, 6-4.
Do I feel like I have to get more on my front then?
I'll show you. Actually, I'll take a video of the next one because it'll still be there on the next swing. And then I'll show you what part of this is giving you some issue.
Don't I felt like I hit better?
It's a little bit of your setup.
Okay.
Like your head right now, the top of your head is probably over top of your right foot a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's kind of your low point. If it gets any further behind and then kind of hangs out back there, that's your low point. So it's really hard for you to get up and through there. It's nice for you to be able to hit up on it so much.
Yeah.
But you can tell like this is you just after impact and you've got to use a lot of momentum. Like that right leg isn't really helping you hit the ball right now. Mm-hmm. That right leg's kind of floating into that space. So you're really heavy on that left foot, kind of trying to drive through this thing. So we want to feel like is, okay, if I get to the golf ball, I should be able to almost like push both my feet off of the ground at the same time. If this right foot's always already like this,
yeah,
right, then I would argue, let's just see where that gets like that, of how little it maybe is being used. So there, I would say it's pretty much done there, and the ball's just leaving the face. So we're not really pushing through off of that foot in the follow through. It's like I'm already over here. It's like this leg just sort of did this. Because you're trying to like push yourself to get up to that golf ball to go through. And what we want is like, just level this off, get your nose like middle of your body, and then try to leave it there. If my head was ahead of the golf ball, I'd be hitting down on it. Wow, that one went far. The old knuckle sandwich there, 306.
Okay, so more like...
Yeah, a little bit more neutral, good. And you can bring that ball even a little bit back in the stance. You have plenty of attack angle no matter what you do. But this ball's sitting way down there.
Sorry, can I just see myself in this?
Yeah.
So before I was more like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I want to be more,
Right.
still a little bit behind.
A little bit.
But
we're looking for like 3 degrees of tilt in the spine at address. So from where I am neutral at 90 degrees, 3 degrees of tilt is literally just like a little pressure. Like if I did this, my right hand would kind of slide down towards my knee just a little bit and I'd be in that nice little tilt. When I get too much and the ball's too far forward and I move off of it, this is like where all your attack angle comes from is I'm here, the ball's there, and I got to do that to kind of go through it. So we're just, again, almost like your irons, we're trying to just trim the fat a little bit. We're taking out some of the stuff that isn't as important for you to, like hit 9 up at the golf ball. You just need to hit this thing in the center more often.
okay,
Yeah, good.
this feels totally
Different.
Yeah.
Sure it does. Sure it does. But right off the center of the club face. Right through. I mean, it's pretty close. Right?
Yeah.
So attack angle 1. Remember, your ball's like basically on the ground from where you had it teed up before. Attack angle's 1. Your swing direction is 1. Your path is 0. Your face is a little bit open. None of it matters because it's really close to you delivering it online. There's spin attached to it. Like this is the bonus here is you're actually throwing some spin on the golf ball, so it's holding its line a little bit better. Like if that's the worst drive you hit all day that feels a little bit low on the face, it's a great drive. It's like, oh man, if I could do that all the time. I'm like, well, I think we're kind of like getting closer to it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you to go out and play golf and like tee your ball up that low, but I think you should tee it a lot lower.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Also, maybe you should because it's coming out pretty good. Remind me, is this a 9 or 10 degree driver? Is it 10?
10.
Okay. Yep.
I know before that I had problems getting stuck behind. Do you notice I'm still...
No, not at all. No, I'm looking somewhere totally different in your golf swing.
Okay.
I'm actually looking, which is a nice time of the year to go through this, I'm looking at your ability to hit the center of the face. So we're literally just chasing, hey, wow, this guy was like 9 up and hit it all over the face. It's because the ball was floating way too high off of the ground to be good at this. Like your club, realistically, you train every shot that you hit other than driver, you train to find the ground. Train to find the lowest point and like hit the ground after the golf ball. You're trained for that. And then we get to a driver, and if you elevate it that drastically different than everything else you're doing in your bag, it's like, I haven't been training for this, like swinging in space and trying to hit something out of the air.
Yep.
So you kind of need a little barometer of like, okay, if I just cruise above the surface here, like just above the surface, the center's gonna be right there. Ball doesn't need to be up that high.
It feels like, even though I'm still like behind,
Yeah.
to me it feels like I'm so far on my...
Yeah, so real feel.
Yeah.
I mean, just that's your ability to kind of sense that and have it connect to like what is actually real.
I don't actually notice it. When I'm with my irons, am I still a bit tilted, or is it I'm more...
Not nearly as
stacked?
much because you're already kind of like thinking about doing this to it. Whereas with the driver, you have this ambition of like launching it really high in the air. So then the tilting starts and the really high tee, and yeah, this is going to be way easier to get it on the golf ball from here. Sure. Sure. Toe, low. Spin, way down. Okay. Missile though.
So that was, I was still swinging out, right?
Yep.
So I didn't actually go...
Yeah, so swing direction was from inside, path was to the right, face was a little bit too close as it came through, and it was a bit of a miss hit, so we kind of lost a little bit. Let's tee it up a little bit higher, so we can maybe see one of those green rings on there. Yeah, nice. Okay, that might give you a little bit more comfort to kind of hit the center, but I don't want to go much higher than that.
Yep.
I think that's all we need there. Okay, on the equator, touch towards the toe. So toe's all that shape. Lots of path out to the right. It's easier for you to get that all of a sudden when the tee height goes up, to get the attack angle to kind of go up a little bit, to get the path to go a little bit maybe more to the right, and then that just might drop the spin down a little bit, give you too much curve. Good, shoulders can kind of help you with where to go. And then now, middle of the face right off the tee. Okay, dead center. It's 10 open, 9, 8.
I think in that one,
Yeah.
I felt like, okay, let's try and hit the inside of that golf ball. To try and like push it to the right. But
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm trying to do that, I guess I haven't trained this movement enough. So I guess it's a timing thing still, right? Maybe where I'm still...
Yeah, or also like, you know, we're playing angles here. And if you saw that with a pitching wedge and you're like, oh, I'm swinging 4 to the right and the face is open, you might still hit the green. But with a driver, it's like 70 yards right of your target. Why don't we just try to hit this straight?
Yeah.
Right? Why don't we just try to hit this right over top of TrackMan, or just try to keep it down the hallway, so to speak? Like try to keep this thing a little straighter, because the curve is gonna, if we're aiming way out to the right and swinging 5 to the right, that means the ball could probably be 30 yards right of the target if it doesn't curve at your speed. So we want to make sure that I'm kind of like, just line it up, try to hit this high over top of track, man. Launch angle, launch direction, launch angle, 7.8. Low in the face.
What is like the ideal attack angle for a driver?
Well, PGA Tour numbers are weird, so we don't really take those ones. But if we take like LPGA, I think that's closer to like, most of our speeds.
Yeah.
The guys on tour, because they have above average speed, they end up trading it for spin. So they attack down or pretty level to a driver on average, and they cut it. So like the ball spin, the attack angle with a driver on tour is still like negative, like negative 0.2. Rory's like 6 up.
Yeah.
So there's the anomalies on either side. But the ladies' game is kind of cool to look at because they need to be really efficient. So when they swing at 94 miles an hour on average, and this is 3 years ago, this chart, the average now is like 98. Like obviously everything's getting a little bit faster. But they really do a good job with ball speed. Obviously they hit it in the center. They launch it at around 13 degrees. You launched that last one at 8. Their spin rate's 2,600. Right, so it's on the high end. It's not 2,000. Their max height is 25 feet or 25 yards in the air. So call it like 80 feet at 95 miles an hour or whatever it is. Their average carry distance is 218. That's average for them. But really what we're looking at is like, bam, 3 degrees up.
Yep.
They're down on everything else, just like the guys. But the driver, they're actually like trying to be optimal here to push that thing. 9 or 10 degree drivers that are launching at 13. 3 degrees added to it. So if we're looking at like standards, obviously it's different for everyone, but if we're looking at standards, I would lean more on like that stat, knowing that the ladies have to create some efficiency for distance and power, whereas the guys are doing things a little bit different. So 1 to 4 degrees, plenty. 5 to 9, tough to manage where the face is coming after the low point is so far behind the ball and you're starting to climb up.
I feel like when I was rehearsing things, a thought occurred to me of the feeling of when I'm trying to, I guess, have the club overtake my hands to try and get it to close.
Yeah.
It feels like also when I'm throwing my hands, they get a bit farther away.
Yes.
And so I'm just wondering, does that mean I have to maybe stand a little bit farther back? Is that why I'm sometimes clipping it from the outside and it's just coming like it?
No, typically if you feel like if your arms are overextending, then we'd see a lot of heel hits.
Yeah.
And we'd see it high in the heel, like high in the face on the heel, where you're like overthrowing it down to that point. So you're hitting most of your shots kind of low on the face and in the toe.
Yeah.
So I would argue that you've kind of reached that point of extension.
Okay.
And it's more about the climb for you. It's more about like trying to get this golf club to finish a little bit flatter through the golf ball and then to pass you, right? To kind of add a little bit of loft to this thing, add a little bit of spin, trying to launch this at 13-ish degrees. Okay, let me catch another one here and we'll see. That go right? A little bit right. Yeah. So I'd say that. So hands are, you've de-lofted this driver by about, well, I can tell you the angle. We know the angle here. You've de-lofted this driver by 6 degrees. That makes sense because we launched it at around 9 dynamically with the face open. So yeah, you want it to be like returned. So you want your hands further behind you and letting that face kind of climb up into it. So it's like this. It's like when you swing in the downswing and you get to this point, bang, this stops, club goes. Right? So you don't keep dragging this thing this way without releasing the hands. It's like this stops and that goes. It just kicks out underneath. Yeah. Yeah. Right. This takes the shape of the bottom of your arc and turns it into like a long U. So it sweeps through the golf ball and has a little climb on its own as it releases. Yep.
That little flick will probably
Yeah.
also generate some speed too, right?
Speed, and then get the loft back into the club and give us a little bit of height and spin. Absolutely it will. If we can coordinate that correctly, that's exactly what you want to do. Is the braking mechanism is like Newton's third law. The object in motion wants to stay in motion. So like your club head wants to keep going. If I stop the grip, it'll really go. Right. If I really feel like my hands hit a wall, bang, and then the club flies around the corner of it, then we get some climb, and we get some release of that club head.
But I also, with my hand path, I don't want to bring them too far around,
Nope.
right? Because that's
No.
when I'll...
No, this is more like flexion extension. There's a little bit of like supinating, pronating that comes from it, but it's a lot more of like just release, literally like if I could picture the face, doing that as it goes through the golf ball. Right, like just climbing up, adding loft to kind of pick the ball off of the tee. Right. Yep. Right. So there's a real freedom to like letting the club head go. Okay. You're doing a very good job of getting closer to the center of the strike. And that's the biggest part of this is we just want to try to hit it solid as much as we can. Five, six up. Can I hit that thing a couple times? Just curious. Got you in what, 55S? Oh, it is a nice low tee. 10-degree head. What I'm trying to demonstrate is just the release of that club head as it gets to the golf ball. Mm-hmm. So I'm hitting, that was 3 down at it, a little bit left. I'm gonna go out to the right and release this up. I'm gonna kind of stay behind the ball. I imagine that's pretty close to 0 attack angle. Well, no, still 2-8 down. Two eight down, path to the left. I'll tip that path out to the right. Go a bit more this way. A little higher crash on the top of the head. There we go, a little closer too. So I'm pretty close to 0 there. I'm like 0.6 down. Mm-hmm. Fairly inefficient as far as like smash factor goes, but I've been able to keep that speed up a little bit, get the height up a little bit, and the ball's gonna carry a long way. And my launch conditions then are at like 12. What it might look like to you is handsy. Might look like this. Like my body doesn't really need to be involved nearly as much in this. I can really just sort of cut my hands loose. I create a turn to give myself the momentum to send my hands through the swing, or to really like send the club head through the swing as much as I can. So if I just stood here and didn't do much and was allowed to just sort of swing my hands through, I think I get the release that I kind of want from this thing, right? Like up and at the golf ball,
Yep.
without having to do too much.
Yep.
Right, so I can just stay here in my setup and then just sort of let my hands kind of go at it. From there, I think I'm gonna start to feel like how it releases past me. When I'm in my stance here and we're trying to hit something hard, it's hard to like let the hands go in time.
Yep.
So I want you just to stand with a couple, just like feet together,
Sure.
and see if you can hit a couple shots that just have you feeling like a release of the hands a little bit more.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I still want you to hit it pretty hard.
Okay.
Almost like the most you can come up with out of that setup. It's like your feet are glued together, you don't have them anymore, and now you gotta use your hands to hit this golf ball a long way. Good. You can move that ball a little bit more forward for you. Yeah, great. Hands can start more in the middle of your body. They don't have to be pressed forward. Yeah. Not bad. Can you get some height out of there? Maybe. Ooh, the old 1-5-2 smash.
Hi, that means I have to release it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Right.
give it some loft. See if you can get this thing climbing. That was good. I like the way that came through. I know you hit it low on the face, but I like the way that you released that into that. It's good. Okay, back to like normal setup, normal driver. Straight with one ring showing. There you go. So it should be kind of optimal. Good. So you can't stand over the golf ball. I mean, you can if you want, but this is maybe what we were talking about at the beginning is you can't really stand over the golf ball and tell yourself to do all these little things that are going to lead to like a great shot because they take too long. We have about a second to deal with all this stuff, and there just isn't a way to sort of stagger this all together. So it has to feel a little reflexive. It has to feel like you know what you're going to do with your motion, and then now your focus is on either the height and the flight of the golf ball and really trying to like put the ball into that chute, or a focal point on the golf ball where you think you need to hit it to make that happen. But you need to draw your attention out of what you're physically doing and more into the act of like, okay, I have a tool, it's gonna make the golf ball do what I want, whether by where I hit it or how I really imagine the shape of it or the shot.
Can I ask about grip pressure? As
course.
far as,
Yeah.
I feel like if I don't hold it, then I can, I guess, release it easier.
Yeah.
Is it okay to necessarily feel like I'm like almost letting go of the club, or?
Yeah, for sure. You know, like grip pressure as a whole, if we just sort of said, hey, how hard should I hold my club? I think it differs a little bit for different shots, but I would say that we're kind of coached everyone into sort of being like mid as far as like 10 is squishing it to death and 0 is it falling out of our hands. We're gonna move a little bit freely or more freely from our forearms and our shoulders and our upper arms if we've not like death grip this thing. So yes, you can pick up some real speed, and you probably have seen some players when they release the club, it looks like their hand is kind of like floating off the club at the end of it, with a driver in particular. Yeah.
Because I feel like I can get more if I almost lift a finger off.
Sure, right.
But I don't know if
where
that's
we can kind of throw it around the corner for it. Yeah, yeah. So loose grip pressure, but let's not go chasing after your driver down the fairway.
Sure.
Okay, so give me a little less tilt at the start, that early setup characteristic, and let's really work hard to try to get this thing off the bottom of the face.
Okay.
So you attack that one at 4.5 degrees. That would have been fine if the tee height was like really high, but I don't want to give you that freedom because then you're going to take it and you're going to go all the way to 10 degrees again.
Yeah.
So we want a little bit more back in the stance. Your left ear kind of right over top of the golf ball or just behind it, and trying to like stay there, right? We're trying to create the lift out of the loft in the club, not out of your body helping it up into the air.
When the ball is more farther back, it really feels like I have to actually clear my
Yeah,
hip.
yeah, absolutely. Well, that's pretty good. Again, obviously just a little lower flighted ball off the low part of the face, 2.6. I love all the numbers on the bottom. Love them all. We just got to get down there. So make it 2 practice swings, and I want you to sweep the ground, like a long sweep, right? Like not a quick in and out, but like a long sweep of the ground where the club stays on the ground a little bit longer. Yeah, full speed. Okay. Try to take it a little less out to the right. Try to take it a little bit more online in the follow through. So a little bit more of a rounded path, or a little bit more like left for you. See if you can like burn the grass here. Get a couple blazes through. Good. Nice. There you go. So burn the grass through the golf ball. Like even if you get a little bit of turf on this one, Let's just see what happens if we can get that thing up the face. So burn through that grass. All right, closer to center. Nice.
I feel like subconsciously I'm almost scared of hitting the ground because I don't want to just, in an
Yeah.
actual drive, hit before the ball and then it just,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, of course. Of course. But we're just training to get that dot to move up
Yeah.
without having to move the tee. So you're intentionally just trying to get it to skim the surface so that you can kind of get that reaction. Okay, so this is actually a good way to see this last one. So if you watch the grip, where the butt end of the grip is, as you come through the golf ball, the butt end of the grip is pointing left of you, up over there.
Yeah.
Still, probably still. And then now like a little chicken wing as it's kind of like buckling into your left side.
Yeah.
So we want through impact here, bam. I want to see like the butt end of the grip show up right there. So from where you're going, from where we're looking at it, by the time you get to impact and hit the golf ball, bang,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
We were still there.
Okay.
So then there is there, which makes it really hard to hit the ball off of this low tee. If I go like this, then now this is symmetrical. It's like bang, bang in that release.
Okay.
How I would throw this club at you if I could in the follow through to get that head to hit you. I wouldn't go like this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't throw the whole shaft at you. If I'm trying to do damage, I'm gonna let you get that head. I'm not gonna do this. And that's kind of what's happening, is that climb is happening through there because we haven't detached that club yet. So if you scoot your hands down on the club a little bit and just pay attention to where the butt end of that grip is, I want you to kind of throw the butt end, away from your target quickly, right? You can still move your body. That's not like, it's the only thing happening, but we want to see that club head kind of get released, right? So this action has to happen before we get to the golf ball to kind of get that started. Yeah, right.
So it feels like almost like I have to release back here almost,
Correct.
right?
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Track man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Correct. So early extension, as bad a word as that is, and like hitting a 7-iron, early extension to me is like how we hit a driver, or how guys hit a driver so good, is they extend and release this early because we're letting it go into the golf ball. Okay, shoulders to the right. We're still swinging a little bit to the right if you can. Okay, but you're trying to get that club head through. Okay, try it again. Okay, good turn away from this thing. Turn. Sounded better. Go dot. Let's just see what the average is. Yeah, it kind of looks like that. So that's every shot you've hit
Yeah.
with a driver, 43 driver swings. And what we're finding is on average, you're about a centimeter low of center on average. That gives you all these kind of numbers. A little lower, obviously lower land angle, spin low. You ever hit driver off the ground? D-O-D,
No.
off the deck?
Never.
No? Let's do it. Let's hit some. It is possible. You've seen guys do it before?
Yeah.
Can I, I'll hit your driver off the ground. I'm sure I can do it. Might take me one or two, but I'm sure I can make this thing go in the air off of the ground from here. A little bit of a swing to the right. Okay, it's possible. I'm probably gonna hit it down there on the face. I would argue that that's gonna where it's gonna come out of. I have to hit down on it a little bit because the ball's on the ground, so it's now like a fairway would. Probably gonna hit it low regardless because the face is so deep that that's where I'm gonna hit it. But that thing went 80 feet in the air. Pretty decent.
Okay.
I'm gonna do one and done. Okay, let's hit this thing off the ground. Maybe you don't need a 3-wood. Maybe we just need to figure out how to hit this thing off the ground. Yeah, so ball first. Get that pinch nice and clean on the golf ball. All right, so I'd say top half of the ball. You hit down on it 1 degree. That's pretty cool. But you've got to get that face in there so that it can give it a little bit of lift.
So more like actually hit it like.
That's right. Yeah, so you got to hit down on this just a little bit to get that spin into the golf ball.
That one I felt like I held off the handle.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like swinging down and also releasing is almost two
hard.
opposites. It feels like
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Down is how we start. The release is what happens through the golf ball. Yeah. So before you hit your shot, I want you to squat like crazy. Get your butt really close to the ground. I want you to stay as low as you can until you get to the golf ball. Yeah. Yeah, good. So you can still turn out of there. You can still load your legs correctly. But I want you to stay low, and then you can pop yourself up as you get to the golf ball. Ooh, that was better. That was pretty good. Give us a little dot on the face there. 1-1 up at it. Okay, cool. Cool. So, we only needed a couple. That looks great now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So much easier. Now the ball's elevated. So do me a favor, Graham, hit this one as high as you can. 100 feet in the air. Let's go until we get it 100 feet up. Has to be on line though. Can't be way out to the right. So you do it by trying to hoist some attack angle into it. So you got to like 6 degrees up, but you know that can't work because the ground is there with that ball teed so low. So we got to figure out a way that you can do it with loft a little bit more.
Yeah.
70.
I think that's my instinct with
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Yes.
If we say height, I
You
have
do-
to go.
You do this to try to lift it, but in actuality, what you're doing is you're holding off the loft and just swinging really up at it. What we need to do is just let the loft return into this thing. Okay, let me do this for a second. I'm gonna hit the highest one that I can hit. So I'm gonna put it in position here. I'll even try to swing right. I don't love swinging to the right, but I'm gonna try to do it and hit it really, really high. I think I still swung across. I did like crazy. And down for sure. I gotta do it with an upswing, otherwise it's not fair. Because that's me spinning the ball to that apex. Which is cool. Then it went 122 feet in the air, but I gotta do it more with like the way that you do it with lift. So I do have to swing to the right. I gotta go this way. There we go. That should do it. So 2 degrees up, 4 degrees to the right, 100 feet, 108, 2200. Here's how I did that, totally different. My instinct is, because I like to fade the ball, I like to hit down on it a little bit with the driver and spin it and hit it in the fairway. But when I want to hit a draw, and I also want to hit it higher or start the ball higher, I have to push the ball. If I do that, I really cancel my leg activity. So I just do this. and I let the club head kind of go away from me over here. My body's still like literally just looking over in this direction. If I do that even with like the ball off the ground, I think I can still get it in the air. If I just stay here and let my hands take the club around the corner, then I can kind of climb the ball and add some loft into it to go that direction. So I can get that thing to kind of go up its line, even off of the ground. That's a little less of my path going across to do it. It's just 2-6 down because the ball was on the ground. But that's like an arm swing, 270. That's why guys hit driver off the deck, is because it does go further. If you know how to do it, it does go further than like a 3-wood. It can. It's just harder to do. Let's get you some more tees. And let's see if you can kind of like get that last little bit there. I like what we did to get you hitting the ball more solid. You're definitely finding the center of the face more often. If your pattern is all the time little push fade out of here, you would be silly not to play that when you go and play golf.
Yep.
If your ball flight is a little lower, you have a driver that's adjustable. We could just jack this thing up to 12 degrees and you wouldn't have to work so hard. But it would be nice to be able to sort of like see some different shots come out of here that you can influence a little bit more, knowing that the club can produce it. It could definitely produce it. I'm not swinging way harder than you on any of these shots. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your body and I want you to turn it that way.
This way?
That way. Point yourself at your bag over there when you get ready to hit your golf ball. Yeah, great. Okay. Right. And I want you to do that. Okay, so I want you to hit, you can get closer to the golf ball so it makes sense to get there, but I want you to keep your body pointing over there. Hips, shoulders, right? Good. And I want you to go try to find that golf ball as you go through. Hey, you did it. So even that one was low on the face, but we have a little bit more lift. Your launch angle there actually was the highest you've ever launched the ball, 11 degrees. Right? So that feeling of doing this through the hit is me not continually rotating and pulling and staying ahead in a range with the club, and then it gets to the golf ball and I've got less loft on this thing because my hands are ahead. That's me going, oh, the ball's there, to go and hit that. So it might be kind of a cool drill or experiment for you to just get that feeling.
Yep.
Let's try to do it. It's hard to do it without the attack angle, but try to do it as much as you can with level and then that little kind of flip that comes through at the follow through.
So in that one, the dynamic loft was, did I add loft to it?
Yeah,
Or,
yes.
Where do I actually see that on? I'm looking at the numbers.
So I don't have dynamic up here, but I put it up on another screen, or I can just pull up this one here and it'll tell us. So on impact, we would see your dynamic loft go up to 11.1.
Okay.
On most of your shots that you hit, that was me.
Did you? I was like, oh, that's good.
Hey, you're like, oh, I did it. Right, dynamic.
Yeah.
Dynamic 10-8 was that one. 4, 4-8. Go all the way back to like some of your good hits here. Ooh, that might have been, that was me. These are full swings? These are full swings, dynamic, launch. Okay, so that's here. Right, because you hit it high in the face. Oh, and then we did this. So let's say 31. Yeah, 6. 11.5, a little low spin here. This was a good one, actually. This is a good one. 4, there. 1.2, 10.4. So that's one of your higher ones on these little swings. Yeah, okay. Okay, and even with that little dot lower on the face.
Thanks for making it to the end of this video. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope that if you are also working on something, it'll give you some reassurance that, you know, these things do take time, but it's definitely worth it. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.